Let me read a few words on fear. Trauma, abuse, shock, sudden and unexpected events all heavily impact the nervous system, which impacts the mind and the gut. It plugs us into the fear realm and distorts our perception. It's where spirit gets trapped in matter. In fact, when fear is engineered, it plugs us into the hell realm, survivalism, lack of joy, lack of connection to spirit, lack of connection to our inner authority. Fear, in many ways, is the most insidious thing of all, worthy of yours and mine and everybody who wants to live a life of peace and joy and equanimity, compassion, kindness and grace, to explore, investigate, and hopefully in one fell swoop or gradually over time to dissolve fear and to see it for the prison that it is. I'm not talking about the fear that is necessary. I'm talking about the fear that is unnecessary. The agitation, the anxiety comes from we don't know where. So much of it is trapped already in the body, and we can do a lot to let go of that. So much of it is almost engineered. I don't know what that means, and I'm not really prepared to discuss what that means, but it's kind of serious because, I meet so many people and I've experienced such things myself, and I think we're in the days of fear. Maybe we always were, but it's ramped up now. And as long as we are all stuck in fear of collapse, fear of the election, fear of the war, fear of survival itself, because that's the primal driver of our fear. It plugs into survival itself. And this is, abject hell in many ways for the human being who wants to open and thrive and live in peace. And, it's a serious problem. And it's a serious problem these days. There are so many forces coming to bear on the innocence of humanity, of the innocence of us. There are so many forces of corruption. There are the human forces and there are the galactic forces. And I don't really know very much about the galactic, but I do know there's a lot of sun energy coming into our systems now, coming into our atmosphere, into our world. It's not me that says that. It's not airy-fairy. It's actually, seems to be a scientific provable thing, that the sun energy is releasing, so much of its power, and it hits the earth and it changes something within the magnetic frequency, and it changes something in the vibrational field. And we feel all of that, and it's very easy for it to agitate us. And agitation is one thing, but when it's kind of coupled with fear-mongering in newspapers, fear-mongering amongst politicians, fear-mongering amongst those who seek to divide us from each other, from ourselves, to sever us from our divine connection. It's, that changing vibration gets agitated and we quickly, easily lose ourselves to fear. Fear is that insidious. It's not good in this sense, and it must be met The first thing that goes is our deep rest. Second thing that goes is our connection to spirit. Third thing that goes is our connection to our roots. The list goes on. We feel alienated, we feel alone, we feel terrified, feel like my life is out of control. I haven't got any power over my life. These are all the things that the menace of propaganda and news do to us in the light and in the face of kind of this increased energy in the field, that is happening now. Now is not the time to yield to fear. No, now is not the time to get plugged in and stuck in the hell realm of fear. It's not that time. Now is the time to realize this is what all the spiritual work is about in some ways. It's always about. It's to open to the innocence of us beyond and above that very fear itself. The fear is the self. Will I survive? Can I survive? Am I going to die? Is it all going to go horribly wrong? Is everything going to collapse? Am I collapsing? How will I cope? An endless stream of conscious and unconscious thoughts that dominate the nervous system. The nervous system comes online and we enter that state of fight or flight. This comes with those people who've got PTSD, those people who have been severely traumatized, those people who have been abused. They know this. And they kind of have to live with it all the time. And, in many ways, that's kind of what's happening to us globally, certainly in the USA at the moment. I don't care what side it is. I don't care about sides. I care about the equanimity and the innocent peace and power of us when we realize that both sides are not the answer. Union is the only answer. And I don't know whether that's naive, and I don't care whether that's naive, because that's the only thing that I can see is the resolve of each individual human being in their own way, in our own way, to say, I will not be played and I will not be sucked in to a matrix of fear. We're living in intensity. We have to take care of our inner system. We have to take care of our microbiome in our gut, because that microbiome is being heavily triggered by fear. It suffers from the same response as we do in our system. Digestion starts going screwy. The immune system starts to ramp itself up. Gut system, immune system, nervous system. The whole thing starts ramping itself up. And before we know it, we're in a state of almost complete agitation. We lose our thoughts, we lose our beliefs. We're not in a good way. We lose the ground. We lose our awareness. Fear on that level is not useful. It's a disease. It's a hell realm. It's disease writ large, manifested. I'm emphatic about this. I'm sensitive. I am sensitive. I feel it. When the sun energy comes in, or, when the government say there's bombs around everywhere and we're all going to die. Social media, at least some social media, says the Third World War is coming. What can I do? We're all plugged in. It's the Matrix, man. It's the Matrix. And we're plugged in through fear. Something feeds on that fear, and I don't know what. I think that corruption feeds on that fear, and it's corrupt. I've looked far enough down the rabbit hole to see that the majority of it totally corrupt, utterly corrupt. I don't trust any of it. Don't trust any of them. Few shining lights occasionally come along. I don't trust the left. I don't trust the right. Just trying to seek union within myself and stay there, even as this insanity plays out. There is nothing else we can do, Stay equanimous. Go back to the root. Say no. The energy that I transmit through presence and love is by far a more healing energy than the energy I transmit when I'm locked into fear. Fear spreads its tentacles everywhere. Love spreads waves of beauty and acceptance and compassion and kindness everywhere. And we have to keep choosing one or another again and again and again, almost all the time. That's the mark of the warrior. The phrase, or the whatever it's called, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. I will fear no fear. And this is not a God thing. This is a divine consciousness thing. Yea, though I stand in the insanity of the warmongers and the manipulators, I will not give them my fear. I will not give them my allegiance. I will not allow myself to be plugged in to that ridiculous matrix. For I am a soul, I am a spirit, and I have got a God-given right to live as I want to in this world without being pulled by strange and other forces, to stay in equanimity and to stay in kindness, to stay rooted in the grace of being and the love that holds all this. And let that matrix, let those people, let those ones who seek to divide us and manipulate us come undone. We have to stop giving them our allegiance. We have to stop giving the world our authority. Because this world will steal it. This world will steal your authority. Make no mistake. That's what it's going to do. And so you have to make the decision. That's how powerful we are. We can make these decisions for ourselves. Say, I'm not doing this. I'm not giving that my allegiance, my hard-worked, my hard-earned allegiance. My attention, my presence. Wow. I mean, on the spiritual level, this is crazy. The spiritual level, fear plugs us in to a realm of reality that we're stuck in. It's like we become discarnated souls. It doesn't need to happen after death because it's happening here, now. You see it writ large in people. The only way they know how to survive, the only way they know what to do, because so many of them are so brainwashed, they go to sleep and they just accept. And they accept what the mainstream news says, and they accept what the politicians say, and they accept that, some of these warmongers, they say, yeah, okay, that's it. It's their fault. It's his fault. It's my fault. It's their fault. Whoever is convenient to blame, we'll blame. As long as the wars keep on going, we don't care. This is fucking evil. Don't do it. Don't give them that authority. Take authority back where it belongs, in the heart, in the soul, in the roots, in the crown of your very being.